I see that the private sector, well, we've got slots in the Transnet rail network system, something that's been dilapidated for a very long time. But there are challenges now because companies will have to invest in train sets, huge amounts of money. Does this look like it has a good story at the end of it?
It's a mixed bag. Good evening. The national rail policy has been long time coming, over 14 years, and with the national policy being approved by cabinet, it's a huge step. And also at SONA announcing the exact date when third-party access will come about. But we are concerned as an industry that the advert that was put out by Transnet, it may have a misalignment with the rail policy, particularly looking at the granddaddy rights, meaning that whatever slots that Transnet has today, they will forever have that slot. And I think that borders on it may be a competition issue as well. And then also number two is the period, the contract. Can you imagine investing over 600 million for a 2-year contract? So that does not make business sense. The third thing is the footsteps of the infrastructure. We don't think that legally is not possible for Transnet to contract footsteps, because the principle that you should not have known about the defect and maybe be aware of the defect and inform the purchaser of the property, in this case, the track, access to the track, that there is a defect. They know that there are defects, but they have not shared what the defects are, so that companies can decide for themselves whether they can take the risk or not. And because also I
want to come in there if I can, Mesela, just because of time. So I understand what you're saying. We've got this track open now to private players, but there are hurdles in between. One of them you've mentioned is the fact that private sectors would have to, or companies would have to cough up millions, hundreds of millions. But if you've got a 2-year contract, that doesn't make sense, right? I understand that. The other one, talk to me about the footsteps clause, because if a company takes a slot or a track and it needs attention infrastructure-wise, it has to take what it gets. The problem lies with that company. Is that what you're suggesting?
The infrastructure owner, which is Transnet, is responsible for the infrastructure. So they're selling me a slot. The slot should be in a good condition that is usable. Remember that at the end of the day, what we're trying to achieve is to increase freight on rail and remove freight on road. So if the network is not usable, or the infrastructure owner cannot confirm that the infrastructure is usable, it's a problem. But let me know as a company, as an operator, that this is the state of the infrastructure. And the railway safety regulator can come in there as well, so that when I take up on the risk, I know what the risk is. We have other countries on the continent that their infrastructure is way worse than ours. So we think that is an infrastructure that could be used. In some instances, it has been underutilized, and that's where the opportunities are.
All right. Okay, we're going to have to leave it there because of time. Mesela Nhlapo, there is the CEO of AREA. Thanks very much indeed.